Hi. Last week I talked a lot about what I thought of this election. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory to say that Elon Musk hyped all of the ads for Donald Trump. He used $250 million. It's well documented, his methodology in other countries, in the EU, in the UK, and in Romania, Georgia, and other areas where Musk hasn't been active yet. Putin certainly has. And that information is easily got. The Guardian did an article on how the election was stolen for the presidency of Romania. Haaretz, the Jewish newspaper, did an article on it. And it's very easy. For a couple of $1 million, all you gotta do is have 25 to 35,000 influencers ready. You give them a message. They don't exactly know what it is they're espousing or where it's going. But pretty soon it becomes very definite where that information is going and who it's benefiting. In Romania, it benefited Drăgescu, the far-right candidate who is a Putin acolyte. And what it happens is those 25,000 go to their networks, and then bots take over, and millions of messages are created and sent to people with the profile that says they might change. They're on the fence. And they were. Except in Romania, when you do that, you've broken the law. And so Romania has a new presidential election, and I believe it's scheduled for March. It's too bad here in America we have not followed European regulations, we've not followed UK regulations, and we've got a wild west on our internet. All our social media platforms are unregulated. Nobody messes with our content. Even their ability to eliminate or ban hate speech, violence, bullying, shaming, suicide, that's not curbed. And who are they going after? The American technology companies? TikTok. You know, they're all malevolent when it comes to using our information. And it's been proven. You're a poor woman in Texas, you want to go out of state? The social media networks cooperate with the police and the FBI. They let them know who's going for an abortion. We don't have control over our data, and we should. We need control over our lives and our digital profiles. There should be something like FISA rules in place that only we can determine what happens to our content. And if content is truly against the social norm, that content should be regulated. Which brings me to my next topic, deregulation. Deregulation of corporations. Just when Lena Khan was getting a handle on antitrust, because every industry in this country is a monopoly, they're getting rid of her. Vivek and Elon Musk are tasked with deregulation and pruning the federal employees. I don't think they're going to get very far because the federal employees have a union. However, no matter what happens, this is a wrong way to reform government. Years ago, I remember saying when there was a crash, you put 3,000 to 4,000 auditors in government, they'll find out where the waste is, and they'll also close the IRS loopholes. Of the $344 billion billionaires in our incoming government, in Trump's cabinet, I wonder how many of them pay any taxes at all. And we know most of them don't pay into Medicare or Medicaid or any of the other Social Security benefits we need. I think that's an entitlement, not us in the middle and lower classes, but those who pay no taxes. That's an entitlement. It's also an entitlement to make sure that they're paying the lowest in taxes of any corporation on the planet. Absolutely, they should not be given permanent tax breaks. That will add $5.5 trillion to our budget. That's a lot of money. And the tariffs? Tariffs will just increase prices to all of us. They can deny climate change all they wish, but coffee is going up in price because we can't produce them. Enough coffee crops all over the world. Chocolate's going up in price for the same reason. Orange juice also going up in price. So now imagine we're putting tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Most of our fruits and vegetables come from these places. And our car parts. How much more can the middle and lower classes be burdened? I don't think much more. And then let's get back to pruning the budget and taking out the fat. They're not looking at defense. Oh no, defense has no bid contracts for 10 years when technology is doubling and tripling in months and changes on the ground are happening all the time. We need a nimble defense. We don't need a defense that's got $1 trillion and has $1 trillion worth of old machinery and equipment that's been outdated as we see the evolution of war today. So I would suggest that they look there first. Look at the contracts. You don't need bean counters. You don't need geniuses to find out where the money's going. I know when I was hired to Bankers Trust as a VP, they had lost money on their books. They'd reported it in their annual report. They wanted me to find it. I did. I hired 8 young people. I put them into every single back office, and they studied the procedures. Studying the procedures, understanding what was happening, they knew where the waste was. They knew where the losses came from. In Banker's case, those losses weren't real. They had just not tracked the system appropriately when they converted to computers. But that's what you need. All my life, I've solved problems. I've changed cultures. I haven't caused upheaval. People can change. May take 3 years, but people change and they evolve. And if you give them responsibility, they're happy to embrace new ideas and new products and new ways of thinking. It's better than being a cog in the machine, and it's the same old machine all the time. People love change. Ask them, and they'll tell you willingly if you're not going to hurt them, and if you're honest with them, they'll tell you where the waste is and what needs to be done. Don't just cut for the sake of cutting. And I do urge everyone to look at defense first, because now with drones and pedal bombs, we can be nimble and we can be cheap. It's all going computer. It's all going drones. It's all going AI. And it's going with oversight at the top. So you're going to need nimble forces from now on. So let's see what happens. For me, the biggest hope is nothing. Nothing happens because they'll be too busy fighting amongst themselves. Thank you, and have a lovely day.